I think you made a very important point. It is definitely the moment, and Europe at the beginning focused on its own problems. That is what we have been doing immediately as immediate reaction to this terrible crisis which is affecting us all. Now we are seeing some good results. And even before achieving these results, we've been sitting together, all European Union member states and the European Union institutions, including our financial institutions such as the European Investment Bank, to see how we could help our partners, our neighbors, our partners, traditional partners in Africa, all over the world. And so we came under the so-called banner of Team Europe, and we have identified a number of actions to implement all over the world, in Africa particularly. In Uganda, what we have done, I mean, at the end, it's important to say we are at the end of a cooperation cycle. In fact, we were about to finalize the strategy to carry forward the cooperation which we have been having the good relations for the past 45 years when this crisis hit us. So we will have to reconsider a little bit with the government what we wanted to do, what we were about to put on paper as next steps of our cooperation because of this virus. But in any case, what we have done, we have tried to reorient the ongoing projects. Just 2 days ago, I signed, so to speak, a check, a transfer of 16 million euros, and then another transfer of $10 million will be signed in few days, and this is money which is going to the treasury to help Uganda to have more liquidity in order to address this crisis, the consequences of the crisis and the crisis itself. It is money allocated to the jail sector, it is money allocated to the centralization, but it is money which is flowing to the treasury, so the government can use it the way it wants. There is a balance, there is an amount which we are going to direct specifically to the Ministry of Health, 4 million euros. So this is a work in progress. In a matter of few days, I should be able to sign an amendment of this budget support program in order to be able to direct this money to the Minister of Health. A total of 30 million euro will be soon be completed disbursement. Then we have managed to find, again, scratching here, there are 2 million euros, which I would like to allocate to give a chance to the civil society to cooperate with the efforts of the government to address these coronavirus issues and problems. But this has to be discussed with the line ministry to see whether this is acceptable, in which terms, and if it is, we will go ahead. If it is not, we will do something else. So we cannot forget, and we will not forget, the importance of the private sector, and I'm working with my team to identify financial instruments and packages to help the private sector, because that is the driving force of this country. Absolutely. We know there are businesses, key business. Look at the tourism sector. 1.5, 1.6, maybe $2 billion generated of revenue every year. And there are these investments which are, empty. Nobody's there. They are losing money, these investments, these investors.
Is there a strategy European Union is going to come up with in regards to helping, especially the tourism and the hospitality?
Absolutely. That is what we are working together with my team and with the private sector of Uganda. We want to contribute to give a chance to these companies to go through this crisis without losing the investments they have made, without allowing this infrastructure to deteriorate, so that they will be ready as soon as the normal world we know and the normal life we have been leading comes back, and they will be ready to restart and to contribute again to the economy of this country. So we are
in all of these, the work of human rights and the numbers of domestic violence seem to be spiking according to the police report and all that.
Yes.
So how do we navigate through these, the rights as well as the cases of crime?
Yeah, you mentioned a very important one. Actually, it's happening in Europe as much as anywhere else in the world, including Uganda. It is probably the psychological effect of being stuck into a situation nobody likes. Being at home, confined in a small place, tensions, a little frictions, which can be used, sorted out by, maybe you just move out of that environment for a while and then you come back with a different state of mind. But being blocked in that situation very often makes a little friction becoming a big problem. And these kind of situations have led to unacceptable behaviors. Well, I mean, our arrangement with all our staff and the message to everybody is obviously it's difficult to keep everybody employed, but that is the effort that everybody must do. So the idea is keep the activities at a minimum, but be fair with people, because they are the weakest link of all this. They are those paying the consequences the most of this crisis.
I'm also seeing the hospital director, a very heroic person.